Can't you see that you're lost without me? I can feel the thunder that's breaking in your heart. I can see through the stars inside you.
Hi, Baldy Jack here. And today's video is on the Mezco Cinema Fear Series 3, Jason Goes to Hell. I don't like this movie. Okay, get on to the video.
At last, this film wasn't the final Friday. So, this figure, it's hard to believe that even looking back at this one, this figure has just approximately turned 10 years old. It's pretty crazy to think that I've had this figure since it came out. So, let's take a look at the packaging. This would be the last time that Mezco would have the clamshell packaging for their Cinema Fear line, as with Series 4, which was the final series, they would go from having a card packaging, like a card with the clamshell, attached to it, if you know what I'm talking about. So, as you see here, you have the lineup of which figures with their proper posters. So you have Jason Goes to Hell, you have the reboot, or should I say correctly, the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a Nightmare on Elm Street 5, the Green Child, and then the Hitchhiker from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, as you see in the clamshell packaging, you have Jason here. You can already see right off the start from his accessories, so we'll turn the package around. You kind of have a look at each particular figure, and what accessories are included with them. And as I was saying, we're in 2018. This figure came out around spring of 2008, so that is pretty crazy that I've, not this particular figure, but I've had this figure since its release, which pretty insane if you ask me. So we'll remove him from his packaging and we'll take a better look at him. Okie dokie, now that we have Jason out of the clamshell, let's take a look at his accessories, as they are very limited. But yeah, so here we have his heart. Jason's heart. Take one bite out of this sucker and you are automatically him. Or he is automatically you, if that makes any sense. Oh, crap. A lot of detail went into this particular piece, as they really tried to capture how grotesque and weird and abnormal his heart looks. I think they did a pretty good job on this. Then we'll take a look at his former demon worm self thingy thing, whatever. I mean, it kind of looks like it. I think the coloring's a bit off. It is kind of scaly, spiky-ish. This thing actually, surprisingly enough, for how small it is, has articulation. So it has a ball joint in the head, so it actually can kind of look up. You can kind of turn it and pivot a little bit side to side. Then you just have swivels for the, I don't know if you want to call them arms or legs. Anyway, now we can take a look at Jason's arsenal, which is very, very small. Here we have Jason's machete, trusty machete that is, that we only see for, 4 to 5 minutes, and then after that, it's like you don't really see it again. I think the blood on this side looks really nice, just, very little, slightly splattered. This side, on the other hand, a lot more, looks kind of dried out. Looks pretty good. And then finally, we have the dagger. You can see there's the sculpt that they got going on with the thing. It's got, got the face, the handle and everything there. All that little detail packed in such a tiny ass dagger. And then if I will, I'll bring in my old original figure. You can definitely tell, which one's new and which one's old. While this one looks definitely a lot more worn, and the crack appears a lot more larger. So, one thing that's really cool that I can do with this figure, because it is old, of course, and it's kind of worn, I can legitimately take this dagger and put that into his hand. I just have to pry his hand open to get him to hold it. So I'll cut the footage and you'll see him holding the dagger. And there we have him holding the dagger. So, let's take a look at the figure himself. I think this is one and the only Mezco 7-inch scale Jason figure that actually still holds up, as NECA, they haven't tackled Jason Goes to Hell yet, but I guarantee they will within a year or two from now. The amount of detail, the correct rips and tears that went into this, and the fact that the build looks so much like Kane Hodder, like you can just tell and look at this that you know that's how much they put into this exact figure. The mask, on the other hand, I think they did all right. The chevron doesn't look quite like a triangle exactly. It seems a little bit faded. I don't know if that's just the paint from this particular figure that I have here. Turn him around. We have some more rips and tears going along the outfit that he's wearing, with his shirt tucked in this time around. You got the whole bulbous, bubbly brain that he's got going on, which they kind of were going for like a mutated look with him. And also the fact that the hockey mask has been on his face so long that the skin's practically growing around it. Some people like this look, some people hate this look. I'm one of those people that enjoy the look, but, quote me on this one, hate the movie. So we can take his machete, and then you just simply stick that in, and then there you go. You have Jason from the 9th installment. A very, very decent figure, if you ask me. I still think this is probably the only decent figure that Mezco has. I guess we can go over his articulation. He has a ball joint in the head, so he looks up relatively high. He looks down, it's whatever. It's not really too much down. But you do have the whole ball joint in the waist, so you do have a good range of motion, so you can look down pretty well. Yeah, that's not too bad. You have pin and socket shoulders. You have a hinge in the elbow. Bit rotation in the wrist. And like I said with our previous review on the final chapter Mezco figure, that from the waist down, you get the staction legs. Like statue type legs. Definitely you can see the amount of detail that they put into this figure. I personally love this figure. You can kind of see why I have two of them. If you enjoy this look of Jason, or if you're just a Friday the 13th completionist, as for recommendation, I really, really enjoy this figure, but is it worth, 60, 70 bucks? If you can afford it, why the hell not? It is an excellent figure in my opinion. So on that note, I'll leave you all with this brand new photo gallery with some really cool backgrounds and lighting set up. So I'll see you all next time. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Until then, if Jason still haunts you, you're not alone.